You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got an update on exactly what's going on with the WNBA CBA. We've also got Cheryl Reeve, the coach of the Minnesota Lynx, making a prediction, giving you where she thinks the WNBA negotiations and the CBA stand. How likely is it that we get a deal? Very quickly, have a happy Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving, and thank you guys for supporting all of our channels. It's been an amazing ride over the last 5.5 years. And if somebody would have told me that, hey, you're going to have a channel of a network of channels with 600,000 subs 5 years ago, I would have said, obviously, you need a straitjacket. But here we are. I mean, crazy things. Guys in Texas built something, and without you guys, man, I am so thankful for you guys. So be safe out there. Let's get to this right here. Where do we stand? Front Office Sports, Annie Constable, giving us an update of where we're at with only 3 days left. We got 3 days left before the deadline runs out. Okay. So the extension pushed the CBA deadline from October 31 to November 30th. That new deadline is now 4 days away. It's now 3 days away. It's the 27th. Either side can opt out of the extension with at least 48 hours notice, something the players and owners agreed to in order to encourage a healthy sense of pressure as both sides continue negotiations. But where do things stand right now as the second deadline approaches? ? And what's next if the sides fail to reach an agreement? The state of negotiations, the most recent known proposal included an offer from the league with a max salary of more than $1.1 million. However, this seven-figure number represents potential earnings based on a combination of base salary and revenue sharing. The supermatched base salary would still be in the six-figure range, multiple sources saying it would be between $800,000 and $850,000. I got to tell you, with the emergence of Project B, I don't think that's going to cut it. I don't. I mean, I'm not sure what the W is going to want to do, because when another league has got a minimum salary of $2 million, yeah, boy, good luck. Good luck. The league and union have not commented since the proposal became public. Multiple sources told Front Office Sports that players were dissatisfied with another proposal that lumps base salary with potential earnings, signaling more negotiation was necessary. The WNBA has pointed out it has offered what it defines as, quote, an uncapped revenue sharing model. The union is pursuing a model in which salaries are driven by revenue similar to the NBA, where the salary cap is determined by the league's basketball-related income. In previous statements, the union characterized the league's proposal as offering, quote, a piece of the pie. This was in reference to past proposals that only included league revenue and not team revenue, meaning ticket sales and other basketball-related income. What happens without a deal? If the deadline comes and no deal is reached, a number of scenarios could play out. In 2019, the WNBA and the union agreed to a 60-day extension and were able to ratify a new CBA in that window. I will say this. I think that's what happens here. My gut feeling is they're gonna do another through December 31st kind of extension. I may be wrong. I could come out. We may find out there's a lockout. But I don't know. The league needs to conduct an expansion draft for its two new teams in Portland and Toronto. Last year's expansion draft for the Valkyries took place in December. Now, that's true. And that puts a little more pressure on the WNBA side because they got expansion teams that's supposed to start. The union and league have exchanged proposals since last week and will continue to meet this week, despite the holiday, according to ESPN. Both sides could agree to another extension or continue negotiating as a, quote, status quo meeting, meaning they operate under the same rules of the current CBA. A lockout initiated by owners or a strike initiated by players becomes more of a possibility in this scenario. But a work stoppage would not automatically be initiated on November 30th without a deal. Both scenarios would require a formal vote from either side, whether owners vote to lock out players or players vote to go on strike. All right, so we know what's going on there. Now you got a new league that's emerged that, do I think it's going to necessarily harm the WNBA? Probably not. Now, if the WNBA didn't have NBA owners fronting it, it'd be a different story. Now, Unrivaled, good luck. I think they're screwed. I think Collier and Stewart started Unrivaled, and Project B is about to smash it into oblivion. It can't compete. It monetarily cannot compete. So, and we're finding out, remember the big draw of Unrivaled was, oh, you get to stay in the United States. And all we've heard from these players that's joined Project B is, I can't wait to get overseas and see things worldwide. I mean, Angel McCautry come out and said that whole going to play overseas thing, that was a farce, a lie. Nobody cares. They'll go play overseas in a minute. They do not care about that. It's not part of the equation. So let's scroll down here. Cheryl Reeve, the Lynx coach, has been asked about the negotiations. After speaking about the upcoming draft prospects, Cheryl Reeve said, quote, I think things are progressing. So you all know progressing with a CBA agreement. Everything that's happening is normal course of business. They will get a deal done. Very, very confident in that, Cheryl Reeve said. So she believes a deal is coming and they're going to get a deal done. I tend to believe they're going to get a deal done because I think a lockout or a strike, either one, really hurts public perception of a league that has got some momentum. But that momentum comes to a screeching halt if you have a lockout or a strike. All right? Because you're officially going to have people drawing battle. You're going to have fans drawing lines of battle between the two, you know? So I know one thing. They can't get the model that the NBA's got. All right? They can't because the league doesn't make that kind of money. All right? Now, can they? I still believe, hey, take a big salary increase and then go back to the table every 3 years. I would almost said 2 years, but every 3 years and bump it, you know, based on the revenue of the league in a 3-year period. I think that's fair, you know? Or maybe you build in a 3% increase a year, whatever it is. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.